This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It keeps your vehicle running smoothly and keeps it from polluting the air. But now at 5, how one man reacted after a vital part of his car was stolen.
He was the most notorious gangster of the Great Depression. A family member wanted to dig up his grave in Indianapolis for a TV show, but coming up, why that may not happen after all.
Special skills for students who can use them. We'll show you how a high school is giving special needs students a hand in finding a job after school. It's 5 o'clock on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for joining us on this September 11th, a somber day across the country. And in just moments, we will get to some of the ways people, not only here in central Indiana, are remembering the lives lost, but how people across the country are doing that as well.
Definitely a day that we'll never forget. We all remember where we were on 9/11. Good morning to you on this Wednesday, September the 11th.
Whoa, rewind.
Rewind. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I hope it is not going to be almost 90 degrees and as humid as it is outside in November.
If I'm talking about 90s in November,
I was hoping
we'll be setting some record highs.
We better be living in like Arizona or something if that's the case.
I was hoping that it would feel November-like, but it is September the 11th. Good morning to you. Good morning, Tom.
Yeah, and here we are in September, and it's feeling more like July and August. As you walk out the door this morning, you're walking out to a lot of heat and a lot of humidity. Temperatures right now are still in the 70s in almost all locations, just 1 degree below 70 degrees in Crawfordsville, but Muncie at 77, 74 in Tipton, as well as Indy. 73 is the current temperature right now as you make your way down into the Bloomington area. There's a lot of humidity around as well. You notice a little bit of cloud cover making its way through, and that's one minor difference you'll notice from today compared to yesterday when we got up to 92 degrees. There's a little more cloud cover today, and today we will run the risk of seeing maybe just an isolated thunderstorm flaring up here and there across the area throughout the afternoon hours. So don't be shocked if you see one. If you do, it's not going to last very long, but already into the mid-80s by the noon hour, with our high temperature once again getting all the way up to 90 degrees.
Todd, thank you so much. The time now is 5:02. We begin with breaking news from the city's west side, where firefighters were called out to put out a fire at a bar. Investigators say they got the call around 1:30 this morning about the fire at the High Neighborhood Tavern on West 10th Street near North Tibbs. A fire crew say no one was inside that bar at the time and no injuries were reported. An investigation into what caused this fire is now underway.
A warning about a crime that's been a problem for years and continues to impact Hoosiers. We're taking a closer look at how you can stop thieves from stealing an important part of your car, the catalytic converter.
RTV6's Cameron Riddle breaks down what that protection costs and what a West Side man is dealing with after it happened to him.
Waking up to find parts of your car stolen is pretty much the last thing you want as you are headed out the door for work. But that's exactly what happened to an Indianapolis man this morning. And now tonight, he's sending a warning. There's a thief on the loose, and he wants you to know before that thief gets you. That sound lets the whole neighborhood know when Michael Grimm is coming home. The SUV he bought just weeks ago quickly caught the eye of a thief who slid under his truck with a saw and stole his catalytic converter.
I came out this morning and started it up to go to work, and it got really loud suddenly.
The person who stole Grimm's catalytic converter will likely trade in that piece of metal for an easy $100 to $200, far less than what Grimm now has to pay for parts and labor to get his car running quietly again.
It's an $800 repair job. It sucks. It's not right, but unfortunately, there's thieves out there, and hopefully the police will stop this from happening.
While it seems like there is little you can do to protect your car from thieves, insurance companies like Allstate do give a few tips, like having your catalytic converter welded to the frame of your car. That pretty much makes it impossible for thieves to get what they want. Having your car's VIN number engraved on your catalytic converter will tell a scrap dealer that that part is stolen, and they can return it to you. Automotive products like the cat clamp and cat strap can be attached to the underbelly of your car, preventing thieves from sawing off the converter and even setting off an alarm if they try. We found those products online, selling for roughly $170. But if that isn't in your budget, parking in a well-lit area away from trees and bushes is totally free. Making your car more visible gives thieves less cover than the ones who crawled under Michael Krim's car last night.
I just want people to look out for each other, and hopefully the bad people will stop doing what they're doing. But, you know, and I know we can't stop that.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
For another look at the ways you can prevent catalytic converter theft, check out this story on the RTV6 app and the IndyChannel.com.
The time now is 5:05. A hearing scheduled later this month for the truck driver accused of causing that fiery crash on I-465, killing a woman and her 18-month-old twins. On Tuesday, we learned that prosecutors added 7 additional criminal counts of reckless driving against Bruce Pollard in connection to the 7 people injured in the wreck. Investigators say that Pollard's semi-truck slammed into stopped traffic in a construction zone on 465 near the Keystone exit in July.
The plan to dig up John Dillinger's remains from Crown Hill Cemetery this month may not happen after all. Crown Hill objected to the made-for-TV project. A relative of the 1930s gangster filed a lawsuit to move the plan forward, but a hearing in the case is not scheduled until October 1st. Now, a state permit says exhumation must happen no later than next Monday, September 16th. The remains from the grave were set to be DNA tested to confirm if the body is actually Dillinger as part of a documentary. Remember your first job out of school? You might have been excited, maybe even a little nervous and anxious. That was about 7 years ago for me this week.
Was it? What'd you do?
Well, my first job out of school, my first reporter gig up in northern Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I worked in Yuma, Arizona. It was super hot, so I'm used to the heat.
The weather today.
Right. So a group of students at Brownsburg High are getting a unique opportunity to get a jump start on the skills that they need to thrive in the workplace. Our Aaron Lish joins us right now in the studio to tell us more about Collaborators for Success. Fill us in this morning.
So, you know, this is targeted to students with special needs in Brownsburg, and it's really getting them set up for careers after they graduate. So what they do is the school teams up with local businesses like Dawson's 2 restaurant to provide students like Tyler Burr that you're about to see here in this video internship opportunities. They learn the hard skills like how to wash dishes and clean the kitchen to soft skills like communication and etiquette with others, and students build their portfolios throughout this time, getting recommendations from their supervisors. So they have something to show to future employers that they are ready to work, and better yet, be great at what they're doing, which is what Tyler and workers at Dawson's 2 already notice.
If you really need to know the truth about these kids, they're awesome. They come in here, they're kind, they're gentle, they're nice, they're great to work with.
I followed the job coach that taught me all the skills I needed to learn throughout the years. And that's how I know I'm going to be good when I get a job in the community.
So right now there are 24 students in the program, and so far 20 different businesses are connected to Collaborators for Success. The students in the life skills and functional skills classes that are in this program can stay at Brownsburg High until they're 22, so they continue to build that knowledge. And we're going to hear a little bit more from Tyler in the next half hour on how Collaborators for Success, what that really means to him.
Aaron, thank you. You can expect to see more national retail chains hiring seasonal help. Target has already started hiring for the holidays. It's looking for about 130,000 seasonal employees. That's more than last year. Target will hold 2 hiring events, one in October and one in November. UPS, Amazon, and Kohl's are also already hiring seasonal workers.
One Indigo leader says he is thrilled with the numbers coming in after week 1 of the Red Line. Indigo says more than 64,000 passengers boarded the rapid transit route in its first week of operation. If you plan to continue riding, there are some important changes that you need to know about this morning. Red Line buses have been stopping at all stations along the route, even when no one is getting on or off. Indigo says passengers are now being asked to pull the cord inside the bus to signal that a stop is requested. And there's now a new policy that limits the number of bikes on a bus to 2 at a time. That's all for safety reasons. The Red Line is free to all riders through the end of September. And for more answers on how to navigate the Red Line as a rider or even as a driver, go to theindychannel.com and watch our special Inside the red line. The time now is 5:09. We're keeping a close eye on today's heat and humidity. Todd Clausen, it does feel a whole lot like July.
Yeah, as soon as you walk out the door, it's going to kind of hit you. Yesterday, we started off pretty comfortable, then the humidity kind of climbed throughout the course of the day, and it's continued to climb now throughout the overnight hours. Here you go. As you walk out the door, temperatures are going to be in the 70s here from the 6 o'clock hour all the way through the heart of the morning commute at 8 a.m. with the temperature right around 73 degrees. Skies are still going to be partly cloudy, and you can see a little bit of cloud cover here across the area and just kind of streaming through as we go forward in this forecast, though. There will be the chance of a few spotty storms as this area of high pressure starts to slide off towards the east. It won't be these storms that you see in Minneapolis, but instead we're just going to manufacture some isolated storms flaring up during the peak heating of the day. But here are those high temperatures once again climbing up to right around 90 degrees in most locations.
Todd, thank you. His holdout over a football helmet caused controversy. But up next, the story of a star wide receiver takes a stunning turn with new allegations from a former trainer.
And so they'll try to, once again, to win over some voters tomorrow night. This group right here, but just ahead, will explain why there are some things the Democratic Party does not want their presidential candidates to say on that stage. Details next on Good Morning Indiana.
Weekdays at 9 on RTV6.
At 5:14, here's a live look from our INDOT traffic camera this morning. This is I-65 at 56th Street. You can see some flashing lights there. There is some construction occurring in that area, so just be cautious of those workers that are out there and any slowdowns that might be caused in the northbound lanes because of that. He first made news by threatening to quit football over new NFL helmet requirements. It led to his release by the Oakland Raiders and his signing a day later by the Patriots.
But this morning, it's really unclear whether one of the top receivers in football will even play now that he's being accused of rape. A federal lawsuit was filed in Florida against Brown by a woman who used to train him. The accuser claims she dropped Brown as a client after he sexually assaulted her twice during training sessions. The woman agreed to work with him again after being reassured their sessions would remain professional. But then she says Brown raped her in May of last year. Brown's attorney released a statement saying the woman had to ask Brown to invest money in her business and that their sexual interactions, he says, were consensual.
Court documents show that a member of Indiana's national championship men's basketball team in 1987 was part of an illegal sports gambling operation. The Hancock County Prosecutor's Office named Joe Hillman as one of the men working for the operation they say was led by businessman Brent Wells. Hillman has not been charged in the case, but court documents say he was one of 7 agents picking up betting money for Wells. Wells is charged with running the gambling ring out of his realty office in New Palestine. Prosecutors say he took in $17 million in illegal bets between 2016 and this year.
The time now is 5:15. It's the next chance for the Democratic presidential candidates to make an impression with you. The next debate is set for tomorrow in Houston. The top 10 candidates will be on stage, and South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is among those hoping for a boost as he has seen his polling numbers recently drop. You can watch the debate tomorrow night at 8 right here on RTV6. There was a lighthearted moment leading up to the debate. Buttigieg found himself on the same flight to Houston as one of his rivals, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar. Not only that, they were seated just one row apart. Buttigieg tweeted at the airline, "Very funny, United," which Klobuchar retweeted adding, "And the debate begins. Good sitting by you." Some good light fun there on that flight, right?
Yes. One thing that leaders of the Democratic Party do not want to hear at the debate is a lot of swearing. An internal email obtained by CNN shows the Democratic National Committee and ABC warning candidates to not use foul language on the debate stage so as to not break FCC rules. The warning comes as several Democrats have taken to using dirty words during the campaign, most notably former Congressman Beto O'Rourke. His campaign even started selling a T-shirt with the phrase he's been using a lot lately. And Todd, people might step outside today and yelp out a 4-letter word when they feel how humid it is.
Yeah, you know what it's going to be? Warm.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to be saying.
I was thinking of that.
It's going to be warm out there. You're walking out to a lot of humidity, a lot of heat later on this afternoon. In this summertime heat, it's going to continue really not only for today, not only for tomorrow, but all the way into the middle of next week as well. There's one little cool down as we get into Saturday, but even then, temperatures will still be above normal. And then with the heat will come the chance of some spotty storms in the forecast at times. This morning, though, it is dry. Skies are partly cloudy. The temperature sits at 74 degrees. Bit of a breeze out of the south-southwest, but look at that dew point. It's now up to 70 degrees. Yesterday, if you joined us, it was in the low 60s. I told you it was going to be coming up, and you'll notice that humidity. You haven't walked out the door yet this morning. It's one of the first things I noticed when I was heading towards the garage. 74 right now in Indy as well as Peru, 73 in Tipton, 77 in Muncie, 72 over in Richmond. So everybody's within a couple degrees of each other. Those temperatures will not fall off much more here throughout the course of the morning hours as these clouds start to move in, and plus combined with that southwesterly wind will hold pretty steady. But you don't see any rain as of yet. However, there will be the chance later on this afternoon of just a few isolated downpours that'll start to flare up across parts of the area, just basically manufactured by the heat and humidity. There's no front coming through. That will happen on Friday. So this big cluster of storms, that's going to stay off to our west. We're not going to see anything like that. But again, there will be the chance of a quick passing downpour at times today. Don't be shocked if you see it. If you do, it's not going to last very long. Temperatures in the mid-80s by the noon hour, 90 degrees as we head into the 4 o'clock hour. That will be your high temperature for the day today. So here are the storm chances. Again, it could be a shower or two off and on throughout the day, just flaring up. It will quickly move out. And then as we head into the evening hours, we will be just fine. Skies will be partly to mainly clear with temperatures that'll be in the 80s through the evening hours, and then down to 79 at 10 p.m. Sunset is at 8:01. Tomorrow, we just do it all over again. The chance of some isolated storms. Otherwise, a high temperature right around 90 degrees. And here are the storm chances on TrueCast for tomorrow. Again, just very, very isolated here and there across the area. The better storm chances are going to be on Friday. That's when the front sweeps across the state, and that will bring more widespread storm activity. It cools us off just a little bit for Saturday, down to 83 degrees, but then the heat, it builds right back in heading into the middle of next week with highs in the upper 80s.
Todd, thank you. We want to take another look at our INDOT traffic cameras this morning. This is I-65 at 56th Street. Once again, you can see some flashing lights in that area. That's because there is construction taking place. It is causing a few slowdowns in the northbound lanes, so just anticipate that if this is part of your commute. If you want to get away from snow and cold this winter, you will have a new option to fly from Indianapolis to Cancun. A direct flight to Cancun on Frontier Airlines starts in December. The seasonal flight will take off on Mondays and Fridays. Frontier now flies nonstop to 5 cities out of Indianapolis International Airport.
I'm heading to the airport after this newscast. Thank you, Mary.
Well, you're going to have to wait until December then.
Okay, I'll wait. A big unveiling at the Children's Museum of Indianapolis. Literally, the museum has a brand new display of dinosaur bones. Now, over the summer, scientists unearthed more than 15 tons of fossils near Cody, Wyoming, in a place known as the Jurassic Mile. Now you can see and touch some of the fossils at the museum's new Jurassic Paleo Prep Lab.
But we have a whole crop of new Jurassic dinosaurs, and the fossils are huge. So what you're seeing in our newly expanded lab is workstations where we can actually deal with these hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of fossils, and we can take them out of their jackets, which is what we put them in to transport them from our dig site, crack them open, and then start the tedious work of preparing them with our paleo team.
The museum is always a fun place to visit. Hopefully you'll get a chance to just check it out. The fossils will eventually be part of an even bigger exhibit called Mission Jurassic. That's scheduled to open in a couple of years.
Parents still have some unanswered questions. Coming up at 5:30, how they are trying to get answers from a school board over its handling of sexual misconduct allegations against a coach.
So it's the swimsuit scandal, or was it about something else? Coming up, a referee's decision to disqualify the winner of a high school swim meet is now getting national attention. That story when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV6.
Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
A school district is investigating a high school referee accused of unfairly disqualifying an athlete.
So the ref DQ'd a swimmer immediately after she won the race, claiming her swimsuit was simply too revealing. Brecken Willis was competing at this race in Anchorage, Alaska, when the 17-year-old's victory was revoked. The Anchorage School District confirms the swimsuit Willis was wearing was approved and had been worn at previous meets. A swim coach at a different school believes the teen was targeted because she is a person of color and because of her body type.
The rest of her team was wearing the same uniform, and she was the only one disqualified. It is my opinion that she has been targeted and singled out over the course of the last year.
So Willis says younger sister experienced similar criticism from the same referee last school year. The girl's mother wants her daughter's victory restored and the punishment for that referee.
The Pacers' Miles Turner will try to help the USA move a step closer to basketball's World Cup less than 2 hours from now. The U.S. is taking on France in the quarterfinals of the tournament in Beijing. Turner tied for the scoring lead with 16 points on Monday as the U.S. beat Brazil 89-73. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock this morning. If the U.S. wins, they'll play Argentina in Friday's semifinals. Good luck to them. Back here at home, it is 5:26, and Todd, all we have been talking about so far this morning is the humidity.
Yeah, and rightfully so. You're getting towards the middle of September. You're not used to, you get warm temperatures, but you don't necessarily get the heat and the humidity this time of year all that often. Obviously, it can happen as it's going to be happening the next few days for us. Yesterday, 92 degrees was the high temperature, just a little shy of the record high of 96. Today, we're probably right around 90 again, but there's more humidity around. So it's a warm and muggy morning with temperatures in the 70s, about 83 degrees by the noon hour with partly cloudy skies. Just a chance of a spot storm this afternoon and that high of 90 degrees. The time now is 5:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good morning on this Wednesday, September the 11th. A Shelby County couple comes home to find parts of the roof, as you can see, gone.
Only on RTV6, what they say may have happened and the tips you need to know if you find yourself in a similar situation. Plus, an Indianapolis neighborhood left in the dark, literally.
This morning, while the utility provider says they're having trouble getting the lights, as you can see, back on. That is a problem.
Yeah, but first we want to get to our weather on this Wednesday. When you step outside, you are going to be greeted by the humidity, Raphael.
A wall of heat and humidity will stop you. You will go nowhere, so stay at home and watch Good Morning Indiana.
In your air conditioning, yeah.
Because Todd Clausen, listen, you have good news, hopefully, coming up?
Yeah, it just depends what you like. A lot of people are in fall mode, so it's not really good news for those of you. But for those of you hanging on to some hope for summer here, it's going to linger really for at least probably the next 7 to maybe even 10 days across the area. So this morning, what you need, the sunglasses as you walk out the door. Your outdoor workout's good to go. You'll be working up a sweat already this morning with the humidity, but a lot cooler now compared to what it will be later on this afternoon, and you do not need the jacket. I didn't check the umbrella, even though there is this small chance of a few isolated downpours flaring up later on this afternoon. Otherwise, temperatures in the 70s this morning anywhere you go. Skies are partly cloudy right now as some clouds are moving in. The big-time storms stay off to our west, but you do notice to our south in Kentucky, over in Illinois, a few specks of green, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. Just these isolated showers that'll flare up at times throughout the day today. If you do see one, it is not going to last very long. Outside of those shower chances, partly cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid-80s here for the noon hour with high temperatures near 90 degrees. The time now, 5:32. Let's get you updated on the roadways.
A number of construction zones throughout central Indiana, as you know, a number of projects out there. This one this morning, as we take a look at our Traffic Now report, I-65, 56th Street, as you can see, construction is ongoing there. Traffic, as you can see, some of those red lights. Go slow, take it easy, as that zone is very active. Now let's go to the south side of Indianapolis. This is I-65, Main Street, mile marker 99. They're in Johnson County, as you can see, all looking good. But for those of us who are Southsiders, we know that this part of the interstate system, Meredith, will get really jammed up here within the next hour or so. But as far as this morning goes, all is going well except for those construction zones.
We do have some breaking news we want to get to from the west side this morning. Firefighters were called out to put out a fire at the High Neighbor Tavern around 1:30 this morning. That's on West 10th Street near Tibbs. Fire crews say the fire started in the more than 80-year-old bar about an hour after it closed for the night. The intense flames caused more than $500,000 in damage. Now, this is the second major incident to happen at the bar. In September of 2017, a car plowed into the front of the building, causing structural damage. Now, what started the fire this morning still remains under investigation.
This is really sort of a shocker this morning. RTV6 working to get answers for a Shelby County couple who returned home from a camping trip, are you with me, to find their roof missing. The shingles just gone. See, Kevin and Shelly Giles made the unwelcome discovery on Tuesday. You can see from this picture the extent of the damage. Kevin says he spoke to 3 neighbors who saw 5 men working on the roof between 9 and 10 yesterday morning. At first, the couple was confused about whether the disappearance of their roof was a crime or just a mistake.
Thought someone had vandalized it at first. But then I believe someone was actually working here, a crew of people, and then realized they were at the wrong address and left.
I was speechless. I just couldn't believe. I thought maybe they got inside the house as well. Then after the neighbors had told us, then we realized that someone had to have the wrong address.
The couple filed a police report and is in contact with an insurance company. They hope that someone out there will accept responsibility. I had a chance to speak to Mr. Giles and offered him some advice. Make sure to get your insurance company to offer you maybe a preferred vendor list. Now, if there's not a vendor list of companies that they approve, then make sure to get 3 estimates. As with any contract over $125, state law requires that everything be put in writing, including when the work is going to begin and when the work is going to wrap up. And also, please make sure you get an itemized bill so that you know what you're being charged for. If you need to see these tips again, we have them posted for you right now on the RTV6 app.
A heated debate continues in Hendricks County over a school district's handling of misconduct allegations against a teacher.
This is not over with. You better make it right. Thank you.
Supporters and critics speaking out at the Northwest Hendricks County School Board meeting Tuesday night. Tyler Bruce, a teacher and coach at Tri-West High School, is accused of sexual misconduct with a student. He's on administrative leave while the allegations are under investigation. In July, the school board voted against an administration recommendation to terminate Bruce's contract. Some people feel that's the right decision because Bruce is not criminally charged, but others strongly disagree.
I support your decision based on the fact that there have been no charges against Mr. Bruce. Not through Hendricks County Sheriff's Department, not through the Child Protective Services.
The ideal end result is to make sure that every child that is going to the Northwest Hendricks School Corporation is safe going forward, and that anyone who didn't follow the Indiana law of mandated reporter is held accountable, because this went on too long because they didn't do their job.
As we first told you, Bruce is now facing a formal complaint from the Indiana Department of Education. The department will hold a hearing to consider suspending or revoking his teaching license. Bruce denies the allegations.
New this morning, Indiana University officials say that overall enrollment has dropped at the school's 7 campuses. Fall semester figures show the university started with nearly 91,000 degree-seeking students. That's nearly 1% lower than last year. But it's not all bad news. You see, IU says that the Bloomington campus has a 2% increase in first-year students. IU also says it set a statewide record with the number of degree-seeking minority students. The time now is 5:36. Interviewing for your first job can be somewhat intimidating, but students at Brownsburg High are feeling confident because of this very unique program.
It's called Collaborators for Success, and it's getting a handful of kids classroom to career ready. Our Aaron Lish joins us in the studio with more on this unique opportunity. And Aaron, what's making these students' resumes stand out?
Well, you know, we all deserve a chance to be successful in the workforce. And in Brownsburg, students with special needs are getting this opportunity. And because of it, one is extremely excited for what his future holds.
I love it. I like working here.
Inside the restaurant Dawson's 2, you'll find Tyler Burr in the kitchen.
I'm learning a lot of skills here.
As a life skills and functional skills student at Brownsburg High, he's part of the Collaborators for Success program, where students with disabilities are connected with local businesses.
Our goal at Brownsburg High School is to make their last day of high school look as close as possible to their first day of life after high school.
Tyler, along with 24 other students, learn soft skills like communication and hard skills like cleaning.
Clean the dishes and stuff in the silverware.
That Tyler knows he'll need in the workforce.
I feel real appreciated they let me work here during the school days.
20 different businesses participate in the program, and employees at Dawson's too say kids like Tyler are awesome.
They're kind, they're gentle, they're nice, they're great to work with.
During their internships, they can get references from their supervisors for their portfolios.
Everybody wants to be needed, wanted, find a purpose. All of us do. And they're no different than anybody else that's out there.
Not only is Tyler getting work experience, but also becoming independent and confident.
I followed the job coach that taught me all the skills I needed to learn throughout the years. And that's how I know I'm going to be good when I get a job in the community.
So students can get the chance to work at multiple internships, so they have that strong resume to show to employers, and they can stay at Brownsburg High until they're 22 if they need more time in the skills they need to succeed.
Aaron, sounds like a great program. Thank you. New this morning, federal officials are investigating the death of a Logansport man who died while working in Kansas. Authorities say 26-year-old Angel Silas De Leon died from an electrical shock at the Cargill Ag plant in the Cummings area. That's northwest of Kansas City. Sheriff's officials say Silas De Leon was working on a grain bin when he was shocked. OSHA has opened an investigation into the death. Sheriff's officials say the shock is considered accidental. At 5:39, flags across Indiana will fly at half-staff today as the state and country pause to remember 9/11.
Governor Holcomb issued the directive from sunrise to sunset in remembrance of the victims of the terror attacks on September the 11th, 2001. 9/11 ceremonies will be held throughout central Indiana today as we never forget. An event at the Indianapolis International Airport featuring a piece of steel from Ground Zero that starts at 8:43 this morning. And then at 10, officials will announce changes at the memorial on the canal in downtown Indianapolis. And that landmark will be the site of a 5K memorial fundraiser. Registration starts at 5. The race starts at 6:30 this evening.
A plan to build another high-rise apartment building in downtown Indianapolis is moving forward just months after it appeared the proposal was a no-go. The Indianapolis City County Council approved plans to build a 13-story complex at 421 North Pennsylvania Street. In July, some councilors opposed the project because of the developer's tax requests and workforce housing rates that are higher than usual. But this week, the full council voted in favor of the plan. For an in-depth look at the project, you can head to the RTV6 app and click on this story.
The time now is 5:40, and RTV6 is working for you in hopes of getting the street lights on a dark north side street. As you can see, it's very dark now, turned back on. College Avenue residents say they're frustrated by the lack of street lights, and that's between 38th and 42nd Streets. Now, we took their concerns to IPL, who told us the outage is linked to the Red Line construction by Indigo. IPL says its team is meeting with Red Line contractors to develop the next steps to repair those underground cables. We've checked with IPL twice since last week in our quest to get the lights back on, but at this point, still no response. We'll see what happens this morning as you head out the door. Oh, be careful out there. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. It's going to feel like, I don't know what, August?
Yeah, like
July.
the middle of August, July, August. Yeah, we're pushing the scale and the needle here into the very muggy category as we go throughout the course of the day. In fact, you'll feel it already as you walk out the door this morning. The humidity kind of came up throughout the overnight hour even further compared to where it was last night before you went to bed. So as the kids head off to the bus stop here this morning, 69, 70 degrees will be your average temperature with skies that'll be partly cloudy. Do not need the rain gear here this morning. However, as we get into the afternoon hours, we will have the chance of a spot storm here or there, but overall it's still going to be partly cloudy for us with a temperature that'll be right around 89 degrees. So the kids, they can go out to play, but boy, it's going to be a warm one. They'll be working up a sweat very, very quickly once they come home. This evening, if you have plans, third night in a row for the concert at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Last night, the Backstreet Boys. Today, we're bringing in Cardi B. Meredith's excited about this one.
Obviously.
If you heard that cat purring over there just a little while ago.
No, I was occurring.
85 was walk into the field house, and eventually 78. Hopefully, this concert will occur this time.
All right, Todd, thank you. Taking a turn now, President Trump mulling over options regarding gun legislation. Ahead this morning, why members from both parties say some sort of action is needed. We'll be right back.
Hello, Burlington. Bye-bye, Coat Factory.
The time now is 5:46. The House Judiciary Committee advancing 3 gun control measures after returning from a 6-week summer recess. The first bill would offer federal grant money to states establishing so-called red flag laws. The laws allow family members or law enforcement to petition a judge to take away a gun from a person considered a threat to themselves or others. Another measure would prohibit people convicted of misdemeanor hate crimes from possessing firearms. And the third would ban magazines with a capacity of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition. All 3 bills are slated to reach the House floor within weeks. Rideshare company Lyft is saying it's issuing an update on its app's safety features. Among the changes is an in-app 911 feature available to riders. The company also says it's creating a mandatory sexual assault safety exercise for driver applicants. Lyft says it's also planning to add a feature to detect unexpected trip delays. Now, this all comes after last week 14 women sued Lyft, claiming the company mishandled their sexual assault, sexual misconduct, and rape complaints against Lyft drivers.
Boeing is now dealing with another setback. The company says its 777X plane failed a safety test. The test involved bending the wings of the plane while parked. Boeing says the wings were bent to a level far beyond anything expected in commercial service. But during the test, part of the fuselage depressurized. Boeing also faces more serious problems with the 737 MAX, which has 4,500 unfilled orders.
Breaking overnight, a powerful tornado tearing through Sioux Falls, South Dakota, causing some major damage, as you can see, to several buildings there. The storm also caused pretty serious damage to a heart and behavioral health hospital. One patient at the hospital was injured, but they're expected to survive. The storm also toppled cars, downed trees, and power lines. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service spotted the tornadoes as it moved past their office. This morning, Sioux Falls mayor says it's not safe for people to be on the streets. What a serious situation there. We are thinking about those folks. We know that this kind of weather, Todd Clausen, can happen to us at any given time. No major storms expected in central Indiana today, but boy, do we know that that could happen here, right? Because the conditions could occur with any thunderstorm.
Yeah, you know, and yesterday there were a lot of storms there through the Dakotas. They were in the slight risk, so hopefully they were prepared here in central Indiana. We could have a few storms today, but we're not expecting any severe weather. That is the good news in the forecast. It's all quiet here this morning. As you look off towards the north, you notice a little bit of haze out there. That's not fog. That is just the moisture, the humidity that we have that has come up throughout the overnight hours. And I think that's probably going to be the biggest take as you walk out the door this morning, is you're just walking out essentially into a wall of humidity that'll be present here not only this morning but throughout the entire day. 74, that's the current temperature in the city. Muncie, 77 degrees at this 5 o'clock hour in the morning. Very, very warm there. 72 in Greencastle, 73 in Bloomington. Definitely does not feel like September. This time of year, our low temperatures should be getting down into the 50s. So we are running well above normal, and we have this cloud cover that continues to stream through. So we'll call it partly cloudy this morning, and just like yesterday, as soon as the sun comes up, we'll start to burn a little of this cloud cover off. But once the sun does come up, not only will it burn the cloud cover off, but with the humidity around, there'll be enough instability around that I do think we could flare up just an isolated shower or two here or there. Here is that strong line of storms that went through the Dakotas. That should not impact us here in central Indiana for the day today. So as we work our way throughout the course of this Wednesday, the morning hours, we'll see our temperatures jump into the 80s already by 11 a.m., then mid to upper 80s as we head into the 2 o'clock hour, with high temperatures later on this afternoon getting up to right around 90 degrees once again. Yesterday, 92. Today, we're probably not quite as warm because when you have a lot of humidity around, you have to heat that moisture up as well. And I think that will prevent us from seeing that big jump initially here this morning like we did yesterday. yesterday. So here's the chance of that stray shower or two throughout the course of the day. Quick passing downpour can't be ruled out, but outside of those shower chances, we're just looking at skies that'll be partly cloudy with that hazy sunshine this evening. Your plans should be just fine. This evening, the last sunset after 8 o'clock. To come tomorrow's sunset will be before 8 o'clock at 7:58 as our day's light continues to get shorter and shorter here. And then as we fast forward into tomorrow's TrueCast for you, you notice more of the same. Just an isolated shower or storm chance in the forecast. Highs tomorrow, once again, right around 90 degrees. Now, a cold front will come through on Friday. That's our best chance of seeing showers and storms across the area with a high of 86. We'll have to time the front out. It may impact some of the high school football games. That's something we have to keep an eye on. Slightly cooler on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. It's still sunny on Sunday, but the heat starts to build back in close to 90 degrees by Monday. Raphael?
As you heard Todd talk about the heat as you head out the door this morning for your Traffic Now report, you can see this is good traffic here at I-465 at Arlington Avenue. I call it good because it's moving, and we have no major issues to report on the interstate system this morning. Do watch out for those construction zones, and based on Todd Clausen's forecast, do not forget to put that AC at least on medium to at least full blast today. It's going to be a hot one here in the area. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station doing something that's never, ever, I mean ever been done before. Making concrete in space. After the break, why NASA says the project is key to future missions. That story and much more next on Good Morning Indiana.
Absolutely ends Monday at Ashley Home Store.
The time now is 5:55, and we're monitoring the situation here near the downtown area. This is I-65 at St. Clair Street. We're told that there's been a crash. As you can see there, near the right lane, there's a vehicle there on the side of the road. A Hoosier Helper truck helping that driver get back into their vehicle and get that off the shoulder there. But as you can also see, not judging anybody, but traffic is moving rather quickly. Slow down. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it somewhere, but give those folks some room to get the vehicle out of the way, and you will have a good commute this morning. We'll keep an eye on this one. I-65, St. Clair Street. You may run into a slowdown. The right lane, I'm told, is closed. Meredith?
You could say things are getting a little more concrete this morning on the International Space Station. Astronauts have been doing research experiments in the floating lab every day, and for the first time, they've made concrete. The project was done to understand how the chemistry of concrete is changed by zero gravity. NASA says it's important to understand how concrete works in space because it could affect future plans regarding the moon and Mars. Turns out the lack of gravity there changes everything. The cement paste on Earth ended up being more porous, which affects its strength. Very interesting.
Wow, the things they'll do in space.
All right, it is 5:56, and people are going to want to feel like they want to take a trip to space today because it is so hot here on Earth, here in central Indiana. Whew.
Just stay in the AC, right, TK?
Yeah, or just stay inside. You don't need to go all the way to outer space.
Stay inside. If you don't have AC in your home, there's a lot of public places you can go, such as the library, the malls, just to kind of cool off if need be. A lot of the pools are obviously closed, but you could always fire up the garden hose. Temperatures this morning already in the 70s, 76 in Muncie, 75 in Indy. Radar is nice and quiet for us right now. However, as the day goes on, there could be just an isolated thunderstorm that pops up in spots. If you do see it, should be very brief. We are not expecting any severe weather in the forecast for the day today. Otherwise, we'll look for partly sunny skies. The big weather story, not the storm chances, but the heat and humidity with a high temperature today of 90 degrees.
Todd, thank you. Catalytic converters are often an easy target for thieves. Coming up at 6, the steps you can take to prevent the important part from being swiped from your car.
Plus, Mary J. Blige and Nas play in the Circle City tomorrow night. Keep watching Good Morning Indiana for your chance to 2 tickets to that fantastic show.
They look as cool as us, Raphael.
I think they're cooler.
You need to take a picture like that.
Maybe during the break. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.